All right, we are finally back after a 2-week break. It's our college basketball and NBA recap show. It's Connor and I. We'll be back Monday with the football show. We'll have Grant, possibly some others, maybe Connor. We're back. Connor, how was your Christmas, man?
It was great. I loved my co-host here, Carter, being home, hosted the Carter cast, played some nice basketball, had a great time. Took a couple weeks off from the cast, but we're back, ready to talk some basketball. Got a lot of steaming hot takes for y'all today.
Yeah, all right. Let's just start this off. College basketball. Carolina plays Notre Dame last night? Because we're recording it. It was 2 nights ago. We're recording this on Friday around 1 Eastern.
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Carolina looked gross.
Well, they did, and it didn't help that we had 3 rotational guys on the COVID list, or actually Dawson Garcia had a concussion, but McCoy and Kerwin Walton both had COVID protocols. But it just looked like a lack of energy game. One of those classic ACC road games where you just go out sluggish, traveling pretty far to Notre Dame. And it didn't help that Notre Dame just Nate Laszewski comes out and just gets red hot from 3. We don't know how to guard the 3. Carolina has no perimeter defense, it seems like nowadays. But one positive that I took away from it is that Carolina did battle back. They stayed in the game till the very end. They could have easily been blown open. That game could have been a 15-point game, but it ended up being close.
Yeah, they're talking about Carolina being a bubble team.
I don't doubt that because Carolina's record looks okay, but if you look at our wins and losses, we haven't really there's no signature wins there. Michigan
the only
was our
decent
best
win is Michigan, and Michigan looks awful.
And that's looking worse. That's looking worse every day. Exactly. So that would surprise me. Hopefully Caleb Love can be more consistent. He had a decent game, but turnover hurt us, and then option 3-point defense.
Yeah, Jeff Borzello tweeted out #1bid ACC. He's not wrong in some ways. They're going to end up getting 3 to 4 just because they'll beat each other. But, there's only going to be – there might be one team. Duke will be the only team, maybe a top 5 seed.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. If they just took off the names, you couldn't see the school names and you just put the resumes, I think a lot less ACC teams would make it this year, honestly.
So, this is going to sound crazy, but I think the West Coast Conference with San Francisco, St. Mary's, BYU, and Gonzaga might equal the amount of teams from the ACC that get into the tournament this year.
That wouldn't shock me in the slightest, and I can't believe I'm saying that because, to start the year, we thought the ACC would be a lot better than it is right now. We didn't think it'd be great, but we thought it'd be better than where it is. Yeah,
they and then let's talk about the one team that's actually good in the ACC, Duke. They come back. They were not able to touch a basketball ever since the Virginia Tech game. After the Virginia Tech game, they all went home with their families, came back. Everybody got COVID, Omicron, really? Optimus Prime, whatever it's called, whatever they got. Everybody got it. Didn't touch a basketball until the day before the game. They had a practice. No individual workouts or anything.
I didn't know that.
They came out a little sluggish because, it was kind of a dead crowd. The student section wasn't full. You saw some empty seats.
Well, Duke's going online for the first 2 weeks of the semester, so the basketball game is still going to be filled up.
No, you can, if you go on StubHub and stuff, you can see before the season, all ACC ticket prices were $500 and all this.
Yeah.
Coach K's last season, it's $90 now.
Really? That's not bad.
Yeah, no, not at all. Especially for the Miami game. Miami's not bad.
No, they're not. And so you're telling me, I didn't know this. There was COVID problems within the Duke program itself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
okay.
The athletic department, the coaches, all the players. I think almost all the players got it.
Yeah, well,
I think there was 1 or 2 players that didn't get it. That's from what it sounded like. But they came back. They beat Georgia Tech. Josh Pastner was shout out Josh Pastner.
Face shield,
cast member for life. Screaming at the Duke players during every free throw.
That's hilarious.
He was screaming, and then people were like, the face shield. I was like, dude, I don't think – the thing is, I think he knows that the face shield doesn't do anything with COVID stuff.
It's kind of a staple of himself. It's a
staple now, and it's also has to be a good luck charm. No way Georgia Tech wins the ACC tournament if that face shield isn't involved.
No, not at all. Unbelievable. So did Duke have any games postponed during that long period?
Yeah, they had Clemson and Notre Dame postponed.
Okay, I was about to say, no way they just didn't get scheduled for 2.5 weeks. Okay.
They had those postponed, so. But they came back a little sluggish and still won pretty handily. It wasn't really a game. Georgia Tech stinks.
Yeah, shout out Josh Pastner, but Georgia Tech's bottom of the barrel this year.
everybody in the ACC seems bottom of the barrel. Like even Florida State seems bottom of the barrel, like losing like 22 to Wake.
Yeah, Wake put the work on them.
They killed them. It wasn't even close. There was like the first 5 minutes. I think it was Josh Graham that tweeted it out. He was like, yeah, the first 5 or 10 minutes, it was like 18-19 or whatever. And then after that point, Wake went on like a 42-5 run.
Yeah, my grandparents have season tickets, and they said those were a pretty crazy run. Dude, we were looking at tickets. What were they, $3?
$3 after fees on TickPick.
That's unbelievable. We could have been at that game for less than a large soda.
Lower level was $10.
That's crazy. I might have to go to a couple games if Wake keeps winning.
Yeah, I mean they play Duke next Wednesday.
I might buy some tickets in advance.
I mean, it comes down to the fact when you're like, do I want to go to a Wake Forest basketball game or do I want a cookout tray? So you can get 2 Wake Forest basketball tickets for the price of 1 cookout tray.
That's you got to weigh your options there. Coming from North Carolina, cookout's kind of But I'll be in the Joel for the Carolina game.
Are you working?
No, I'm not working. I'll just be there. Going with my family. My grandparents get us tickets about every year. Yeah, so I'll be there.
But yeah, looking at the ACC, it stinks. Like Virginia Tech's losing to State. They're all just beating each other, and nobody's good besides Duke. Thing is, I just love Duke more and more as every week goes on.
Well, that's the thing. Duke separates themselves from the pack. It seems like more every week.
Yeah.
And the rest of the ACC, the mid-tier ACC teams are just killing each other's chances at a good seed is honestly what it is.
Yeah. I mean, none of these teams even look remotely close to a top 25 besides Wake, probably.
Yeah, that would probably be the closest one.
That is insane. Yeah. Wake, maybe. Miami's been super hot lately.
You worried about tomorrow?
No, I think Duke comes out hot.
Okay,
I think Duke comes out hot. I don't think it'll be a game. I really don't. Miami's been, their dudes have been on fire lately.
Yeah.
They're scoring a ton of game. NC State 91, Wake Forest 92, Syracuse 88. Duke's defense is probably top 3 in the country. I don't think they get above 75, 70.
Really? You heard it here first. Take the under.
I think it's going to be 80. I think it's going to be 87-71 final score.
I can see that.
That seems
right.
Double-digit
win. Duke pulls away, yeah.
But
that seems all right.
Yeah, all right, let's move on. I mean, college basketball, it's kind of weird right now. It's hard
to
keep
up with.
It's in a lull, and it's hard to keep up with all these COVID cancellations. But since everybody's getting COVID right now, I guess that everybody, like, nothing's going to get paused now because everybody's had it.
That, like, get it out of the way before, March comes around.
And they also came out with a thing saying if you had COVID in the last 3 months or whatever, then you're qualified as fully vaccinated and you don't have to test. The NCAA came up with those new guidelines and stuff. So I don't think we're going to see very many pauses come February.
I agree. And we were talking about this. I can't remember if it was on our last show or if it was just in person. We were together talking about how, like, the coaches kind of want, if their players get COVID, just get it out of the way now.
Yeah, they were a couple college basketball writers were tweeting that out too. They were like, we want every single one of our players to get COVID to get it out of the way now. Like, obviously smart. You don't want anybody to get hurt or anything or die, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, if
it has to happen.
If it has to happen, like, you want it all at once, don't you?
Yeah, I think so too. Just get it out of the way. And that's the thing we're seeing with these NBA teams as well, just to transition a little bit, is they're signing all these 10-day contracts and whatnot. But now a lot of teams are getting back to normal, it seems like.
Yeah, like the teams that didn't have COVID, like the Jazz, they didn't have a single COVID case all year.
Yeah, until
Joe
yesterday?
Ingles and then Rudy Gobert, and everyone's like, oh, we're back in 2020.
Yeah. I saw some tweet. I think it was Bo, shout out Bo, who was like, it's like come full circle now because Gobert's on the COVID list.
Yeah. All right, let's transition to the NBA. Let's talk about the Hornets a little bit. You went to the Suns-Hornets game.
Oh, I was there. Shout out my girlfriend for tickets. But, the Hornets, no shout out there for that game because that was an ass kicking.
That was awful.
I mean, Booker had 20 in the first 10 minutes of the game. And I was like, oh, the Hornets, Hornets are known for coming back second half and make it close. We were down 30 at halftime. It just went to 35, 40. And then I was watching the Swarm versus whoever the Suns G League affiliate is, which I don't even know who it is. That's what I felt like I was watching for the fourth quarter. Because literally the Suns, I made note of it, had I think 4 players on 10-day contracts play almost the entire fourth quarter. And plus our king, Bismack Biyombo, came back and humbled us.
And he got a contract.
Yeah, he's guaranteed now. It's crazy.
Freaking Bismack, Frank Kaminsky, they're just and
good for him.
The Suns are the ones making it to the finals, and what are we doing? 8th place.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have let him go. That hurts. But aside from that game was brutal. But good bounce back.
Wizards game was brutal.
Wizards game was also brutal. The Hornets blew that at the end.
But
did you see the end?
It was awesome. Yeah, I did see it.
Kuzma. Just can't believe that. Kind of hurts losing to Kyle Kuzma in the clutch. But yeah, Pistons game.
A lot of big shots this year.
The Wizards are like, we've talked about this a lot, how they're fraud, but
they're frauds. They're frauds. No. They're frauds.
They could beat a good team in the play-in tournament is what I'm saying, though.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think it matters who they go against in the playoffs. They're losing 4-1. They win one game because Bradley Beal has like 45.
Oh, if they make it past the play-in tournament, yes, I agree with that. They would not win more than one game in the playoffs.
No, because they could have Bradley Beal could have the classic DJ Augustine game against the Bucks.
Yeah. Magic game ones.
Yeah, Magic game ones, exactly. Better than Jordan in 98.
Hornets, great bounce back win against the Pistons. Kelly Oubre, it honestly seemed like out of nowhere. You look up all of a sudden, fourth quarter starting.
Yeah, the thing is, I guarantee you in 1 week, though, or I guarantee you next game, he goes 2 for 13.
He might, but that's the good thing about the Hornets team is he's not our best player by any means. He's a bench player. He's our sixth man. So when he does go off games like this, it's a plus.
But then he takes those shots that he shouldn't take.
Yeah, but I mean, you almost have to.
It's the Marcus Smart effect.
It's almost like if he could just take those shots within.
You have LaMelo, you have Malik Monk. Sorry, Malik Monk's been on my mind so much recently. LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges. I think you all want taking shots over Kelly Oubre in the end.
Kelly Oubre on an off night, I would almost take him shooting over Hayward if he's on, or even LaMelo. But that's the thing.
Not clutch.
No, he kind of disappears a little bit. And here's the thing about Oubre is he takes those shots, but he comes down to the last 3 minutes of the game. That's kind of when you want to slow it down and not take those, first side threes, whatever they call it. Mm-hmm. And he does. So, he doesn't. There's no it's almost how the Hornets team is as a whole. It's there's no game script knowledge. You get down to the end of the game, you want to hold the ball. They don't really slow down. They just run and gun.
It's the exact same. Nobody does it more than LaMelo, because at the end of the game, it's LaMelo plays no difference than if it was Game 7 in the finals, 1 minute left, tie game, or if it's a Tuesday night against the Pistons and they're up 30.
And the thing is, I think I'd rather have it that way than be timid. It's a very much frustrating sometimes.
It's so frustrating when they throw a full court pass and almost lose to the Pacers when they're up 17 with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. But it's a young team. I think if they stick together, it'll be fine.
I'll ask you this. We'll move on from the Hornets after this. I want to ask you this: Is Borrego the coach? Is Borrego the real coach that'll take us to that next level?
I've never been a huge believer in Borrego, but I'm not going to sit here and say he needs to be gone. I think he deserves a fair chance, a year or two with this roster. Maybe we trade for a competent center, maybe not. But if with this team right now, no trades or anything, this team right now, if we don't at least get probably a 7 seed, I would say 8 seed minimum.
We have to host a playing game at the minimum.
I agree with that. And if we don't, then maybe he's not the guy. He seems like a good coach. I've never been a huge believer, but he seems like a good guy.
Player development, there's nothing you can argue.
Exactly. And the players love him. It seems like every interview, every time they talk about him, there's no unrest or anything. Mm-hmm. They seem to be on board.
Yeah. Kind of the opposite of the Carolina Panthers.
God, those fire Matt Rule chants at the game were hilarious. They're all wearing the shirts. I love that.
But yeah, let's move on from the Hornets. Let's talk about Kyrie coming back. He can only play road games. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
It is.
It's so dumb.
I just don't know how they think.
I think
he did look good.
Yeah,
he did look good, and it was the Pacers though, which probably a little closer than what it should have been. But it was their first game back together. They're still trying to feel it out. Towards the end, though, he got his legs under him. He did look pretty good.
Yeah, no, I thought he looked great.
If he comes back full time, though, but here's the thing I want to say about that. Do you think? Here, I have a question for you. Do you think him playing these away games and getting back into it and wanting to compete more? Do you think that leads to him maybe getting the vaccine and just saying, I made my point or I tried to. I really want to be on the court now after getting a taste of it.
I wonder if the Nets changed their rule, or there's some like weird, if New York City grants an exception.
I can see that happening more, I think.
Because like we saw, did you see the whole Djokovic stuff recently?
Oh, he got sent home from what, Australia, right?
Well, yeah, because like he got the COVID because he won't get the vaccine, and he got the exemption or whatever. Yeah. But then all of a sudden they said no because there's something wrong with his visa or whatever. I think if the Nets are a 1 seed, which I don't think the Bulls will keep it up all season. If the Nets are the 1 seed and seem like the favorite to win the title, I think we're going to see a New York City exemption come for Kyrie Irving.
I think we're going to see that anyways, come playoff time at least, if not sooner. It's either that
it has to.
I mean, I'm not inside Kyrie's head. I don't know what he's thinking. But if you're the 1 seed, this is like your best shot to win a championship or another one for him, I think you have to you have to just make that sacrifice. I don't know.
I think
but
so
I could
too, but
I could definitely see an exemption.
I think an exemption is going to happen. It just seems like or you might just get some it's a little fishy to me that every single bowl game's getting canceled because all these guys are getting COVID, but the college football playoff wasn't a peep.
That's what I'm saying. There's not been any word on any positive cases, nothing.
Nothing. That national championship is getting played Monday.
Oh, that will be played no matter what. That entire team could have COVID today. Then they'll be fine.
They're playing no matter what. They're not.
Yeah, nobody will say anything.
College football's not stopping for COVID.
No, I agree. And all those bowl games getting canceled was pretty tragic to see. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, shout out potential first round pick, number 94, Alec Nugent.
He's back one more year next year.
Yeah, breaking news.
Breaking news. You heard it here first on the cast. He's returning.
But yeah, other stuff in the NBA. Yeah, the Nets look good. I was gonna ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you take the Nets or the Warriors to win the title, not knowing how Klay's going to come back? Right now, would you take the Nets or the Warriors? Because those are the two favorites.
I think I'd take the Nets because the Warriors have the depth, and that's great during the regular season. But in a 7-game series, Steph has kind of been in a slump lately. If he slumps for 1 or 2 games, the Warriors do not have enough talent around them to win without him scoring 30 a night in the playoffs.
And if Klay's not 100%.
Exactly. And the Nets just have more talent. That's just what it is. They have more talent. And come playoff time, that's really what it comes down to.
And the thing is, too, it's going to come down to a lot of one-on-one ISO ball, and nobody does it better than the Nets.
Exactly. You saw it last year with KD. He almost single-handedly beat the Bucks.
Yeah, and I think they would have murdered the Suns.
I do, too. No doubt. Even without Kyrie and Harden, I still think they would have beat the Suns.
Yes. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind. It's crazy. Just think if KD, if his foot's not on the line, and he doesn't tear his Achilles, he's got 4 rings.
That is kind of insane. And that puts him in a whole different light than what he is right now.
4 rings, yes.
And because if they would have won last year, you can't illegitimize that. Is that how you say it? I don't know. You can't take that away from him because Kyrie and Harden are both out. And Harden was back a little bit, but he was 50%.
Yeah. No, they're going to be tough. Let's talk about the only other one of the competitors in the East. The Bulls are good.
DeRozan is disgusting.
Why is he the most clutch? Why on earth are him and Kyle Kuzma the most clutch players in the NBA right now?
I'll tell you what DeRozan is. It's because he got out of LeBron's conference, so he doesn't have that breathing down his neck anymore. Oh my God! Why on the Bulls though? Shout out Kobe White. Resurgence. It's exactly what they need.
They should trade him.
They should.
They could get better. They could get a nice piece for him.
They could get a nice piece for him, and he could go somewhere and play 25, 30 minutes a game, probably score 15, 18 points a game. Just for my own entertainment, I would love to see him and Colin Sexton on the same team, just to see how awful that would be. That would be horrible. It just would not work out. Oh, my God. Colin Sexton, is he out for the year?
Yeah, he is.
God, that sucks, because the Cavs are good.
The Cavs are good. I want to bring this up to you. Did you see Preston Johnson's tweet the other day?
About the trade?
Yes.
Yes, I did. I did. And I looked into it a lot, actually.
I pulled it up right here. So the trade would be the Portland Trail Blazers would get Ben Simmons and Michael Porter Jr. It's a 3-team trade. The 76ers would get Jamal Murray and Larry Nance. And the Nuggets would get Lillard and Anthony Simons.
See, that's not bad to me.
I think that makes sense.
I do too. And The team that maybe might be like, taking the biggest risk is the Nuggets because they're losing Porter and Jamal Murray. But if you look at what you're getting back with Damian Lillard, it's almost good.
I think because the thing is, the Sixers, you have a nothing piece with. I think Jamal Murray would fit in great on the Sixers.
I do too, and I think the Nuggets, they signed Michael Porter that huge contract. I don't
get off that just in case.
I don't think they would be like crazy upset about losing that, because like that's a big risk.
And I kind of don't hate Michael Porter Jr. and Simmons together.
No, that's not crazy on the Blazers.
For a young team to start building after getting rid of Lillard, I don't think that's a bad return.
I agree, and they need defense. Simmons is a good defender. Porter's, but they have like length and stuff because this Lillard McCollum backcourt is not working.
No,
so this frees that up.
It never has, and they're like, oh, they don't have enough talent around them. That may be the case a little bit, but even if they got like a good center or a solid wing player,
I don't see
the ball can't go around that much.
My first thought when I saw this 3-team deal was, for each of these teams, for what they're giving up, this is probably the best they're going to get back.
Yeah, no. Shout out Preston for this trade, or whoever made the trade from his Twitter. I don't think anybody can say no to that.
The Blazers are getting back 2 young pieces who are really good, giving up their superstar player. But if he wants out, that's the best you're going to get for Damian Lillard. I really do think.
Yes. All right. We wanted to talk about this real quick. We're kind of almost out of time.
Yeah.
The Cavs are good. We mentioned this last time we were on. They're still good. I believe the Cavs will be in the real playoffs. They will not have to play in a play-in game.
I do too. I think they could easily get that 6 seed. And that's insane because beginning of the year, preseason, we were like, oh man, they're going to be bottom of the barrel.
Over-under win total is like 25.
That's crazy. Well,
they're at 21 right now. They're at 21 right now.
Nobody thought Evan Mobley would be what he is. Nobody thought the whole 3 7-footers thing would work. Darius Garland's playing insane.
Darius Garland is insane.
I don't get it because I just really did not see that coming. Maybe he just needed Colin Sexton not in the backcourt with him to pop off.
Also, another funny thing about the East right now, the Pacers are 14-25. They're 13th in the East. And they got to trade their pieces, but they're not going to get anything they want for those guys.
No, I hate to say it. And Miles Turner's probably gone. And what are they going to get back for him? Probably nothing.
A Hornets first round pick, hopefully.
Hopefully. And PJ, I don't know.
Plumlee goes home to Indiana.
I don't think they're taking that deal. We'd have to butter them up.
But yeah, it's kind of hilarious to see. You have the Hawks at the 12 seed, 17-20, Boston at 18-21 in the 11th spot.
I was about to say the Celtics might miss the playoffs.
And another thing too is the Raptors are weirdly good.
They have a weird team. They just have, because Scotty Barnes is good. They have Siakam playing center a lot now. Van Fleet's popping off. Like they have a weird roster.
Yes, they do. I mean, because let's see here. Van Fleet's averaging 21 a game. Gary Trent's averaging almost 17 a game.
That was quietly one of the best moves they made. Getting rid of Norman Powell for him.
Siakam, 20 a game. Dude, they're starting 5. They're all averaging 15 plus.
Yeah, I noticed that. Because they had OG Anunoby too.
Yeah, he's averaging 19 a game. Siakam 20 a game. Scotty Barnes 15, 8 and 4.
I don't know how they're good. That was another team we were like, I don't know about
Nick Nurse, I think, is the answer to that one. Nick Nurse is an incredible coach.
But who would have thought? I agree. And who would have thought that the Cavs and the Raptors would be 6 and 7, but yet the Hawks and the Celtics would both be out of the playoff picture right now? Not even in the play-in tournament. They're 11 and 12.
Knicks, Celtics, Hawks, one of those is not making the play-in.
No, I agree.
Which is crazy to me. If the Celtics don't make the play-in game, Jaylen Brown has to get traded.
Yeah, I think they might trade everybody besides Jason Tatum and Robert Williams. Just get everybody off.
I don't see why not. Marcus Smart, he's a fine player, but he doesn't take you to that next step, and you're overpaying him.
I agree. They don't have the depth for you. They have Schroeder and Josh Richardson. That's just not going to cut it in the playoffs. They have no big man depth. They have Al Horford.
Let's talk about the Bulls real quick. We already kind of mentioned them, but they're good. Do you believe they'll be like the 1 or 2 seed, or do you think they drop more to like 4 or 5?
I could see them dropping to a 4. I don't think I'd go below a 4.
They scream 4 seed. We're going to see Bulls Sixers in the first round.
And the thing is, the Bulls are going to be like so good in the regular season, but they could easily be taken out in the first round is the thing.
If they were playing the Sixers, I love the Bulls in that matchup. Love the Bulls.
I do too. And
I
if the
think
Sixers lose first round.
Sixers are losing first round. If you're a team, you want to go against Philadelphia.
I agree, because it's literally Embiid.
And Embiid's not going to be healthy.
He's not fully healthy. He can't play 40 minutes a game like some of these other players. It's just the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. All right. Real quick in the Western Conference, Ja Morant's disgusting.
He is, and he's in the MVP voting now. He's what?
Shout out Tyus Jones. He's been insane too.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, the Grizzlies are good. They're for real. I would hate to play them.
But it's another thing with the West. The bottom, like 9 through 15, is awful.
I agree.
The fact that the Trailblazers will end up making the playing game as long as they don't trade Lillard.
Yeah.
But like it's the Wolves, the Spurs, the Kings, the Blazers, the Pelicans, the Thunder, the Rockets. The thing is, if Zion did come back, they could easily make the play-in game.
Those play-in slots for the West is wide open right now.
That's going to be gross. That's going to be disgusting watching this West play-in game. Last year we had almost the Lakers are awful.
I just don't think the West is the bottom half is so bad though. The Lakers they can't drop that low. I physically don't think they can.
Lakers will be like the 4 seed.
I agree, and they'll probably win the first round. They might even win the first 2 rounds.
It'll be like Lakers, Mavs, or Lakers, maybe even Grizzlies. And tell me you're not just taking the Lakers every game.
Oh, I am every time. Like, yeah, Ja Morant's having an MVP type year, but come the playoffs, like it's a different ballgame.
Warriors are still good. Steph's in a slump.
Clay's coming back Sunday, right? Supposedly.
Clay's supposed to come back Sunday. He's on like an extreme minutes restriction, right?
Is he? I know Steve Kerr said he'd start, but I would assume he is.
I would assume there's no way he plays over 20, right?
Yeah, I probably play 20, 25.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, January is a weird time in the NBA because it's kind of dead.
It is.
It's weird.
You've had all these 10-day COVID contracts.
Football is coming to an end.
Yeah.
Thank goodness the NFL is coming to an end. Like,
Why?
I love football. But I do not want to have to sit there and watch the Panthers for one more week.
It's painful. I'm sure we'll get into that on the football podcast, or you will for sure. It hurts.
I just can't stop thinking about how bad the Panthers are right now. Now that football's coming to an end, it's just going to be playoff football. College basketball viewership is about to explode.
I think so too. I agree completely.
Now that college football's done too, their college basketball is now getting their Saturday slots,
and they're getting
time games.
Conference play starting for a lot of conferences. So, it's prime time.
Yeah. Who does Carolina play this weekend?
They play Georgia Tech, I think.
Again? Virginia.
It's Virginia, then Georgia Tech. We didn't play Georgia Tech yet.
You guys might not beat Virginia.
Yeah, I'm worried about Virginia. I think we'll beat Georgia Tech, and then we play Miami on that next Tuesday. So
we'll see. Georgia Tech again.
I think so too.
I don't know. They have an upset in them though.
Yeah,
they have one upset a year. Every year they have one big ACC upset.
Oh, the last time. Okay, I thought it was. Okay, we last time we played Georgia Tech was December 5th. That was over a month ago. I thought it was more recent than that for some reason.
It felt like it was more recent because just we haven't been able to watch that much college basketball. But
exactly.
All right, that'll do it for us. We'll be back Monday, then we'll be back on the Monday, Thursdays. Make sure to follow the TikTok at CarterCast. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube page, CarterCast YouTube page. The website, cartercast.com, will be coming out soon. Interviews will be coming back soon. It was awful during the COVID, Omicron stuff during Christmas break. We had some awesome ones set up, had to get shut down. Yeah, and I think that's it. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Connor_Sparrow and at CarterB8. And we will see y'all Monday. Bye.